Hello and welcome back to Simon Outdoors. Look at it, it's beautiful today. It's forecast rain tomorrow though. So I'm here, I'm arrived. Got to probably hear it's very windy. I'll just spin you around so you can see a bit of the view. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful out here. And yeah, I better get my gear on and hike up that hill. When the wind blows through, I have got, I'm going to take this off and leave this in the car. I've just got a cotton t-shirt on, got long john trousers on, I've got waterproof trousers and a coat in the car, but I've also got a snug pack jacket, so I'll be putting that on to keep warm tonight. So I'll see you again soon, bye for now. Oh dear, I've literally just got up that hill and then got the phone out. Whew. Not really stopped apart from take a couple of photographs, but I'm in the wood, so right, time to go down to camp now. So let's have a look what's left. There's our first appearances of getting into the wood. It looks okay actually. Can't see my shelter. Just watching my step. Oops. Yeah, the shelter's still up. Just watching how I get down here. Very, very slippy. Especially when you've not got a lot of tread on your boots. Oh, my frame! My frame is still there, my chair and my log seat. There's a water bottle right next to the fire. I don't know why it's left there. It's wood that we left stacked up at the bottom of that tree. Coming over here. Something, yes, something I wanted to check. It's perfect. See the owner's stuff down at the bottom. This dead tree here, I'm glad that's still standing. That means that wood's going to be dry. That's going to be my firewood, and some wood that we stood up there, look, should be dry. So down to camp, and I can offload all this weight on my back. I nearly damaged my back getting this Bergen on. It's so heavy, but once it was on, it felt okay. Right, into camp. So, still see the footpath that I made this way instead of going around that way. My frame's still holding up. I thought the jute twine may have rotted away, but not yet. Still got my grill and utensils. So, the log seat that I made, and a little bench for the kids to sit on. It's the fire area, so later on we'll get some firewood cut up. This here, I actually cut these and dug these in here, and only dug in about 1.5 feet because the ground is so hard. Some more firewood stored in the tree there. The bottles were for collecting rainwater, water out the stream to put the fire out. So I've got a beam here, you see there's a bit of rope there. That's for hanging your bags up at the minute. We've got the sawhorse there, still standing, looking good. Looking good, I'll be using that. The TP shelter obviously needs finishing off. I'm debating on making this the door again like originally planned, instead of using this bit. So there's a bit more wood in there, can be chopped. Oh, there's still a ground sheet look, and a roll mat in there. Oh, and I think my friend did leave some water. There's a chair in there, and oh yeah, I forgot some more stuff. I left some shoes up here, some Crocs. so I can change into them in a bit when I'm just moseying around camp. But yeah, some more firewood here. I'll have to see how well dry that is now. So I'm going to get my bag set up, and then I'm going to set my hammock up, and my hammock is going to go from this tree right in front of me where I've had it before to that tree there where the saw stool is. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome back. As you can see, I've almost set up my bed, and yeah, just as I'm saying that, got a little piece of wood in my eye. So something else I need to really have in my kit is a mirror. Set the top low because we're expecting rain, so hopefully that'll get the rain off me. Unfortunately, this tarp is meant to be 3 metre by 3 metre, but in some cases with the rain coming at an angle, it's hardly going to cover me, so I'm hoping the rain is not too bad tonight. So yes, you can see the old sleeping bag, but what's in the old sleeping bag is the new one. You probably can just see the colour blue at the top. What I've done is I've put my old sleeping bag in, I've put the punctured roll mat, self-inflating roll mat, inside that, and then put my Arctic sleeping bag on top of the roll mat and inside the sleeping bag, because before, when using this in the night, moving around like I do, the roll mat would go twist like that in the hammock, and then I've got no padding insulation underneath me. So by putting it in the sleeping bag with me and my hammock, my Arctic sleeping bag on top, hopefully I should be okay. One thing I haven't brought with me is some jute twine. Normally, I've got some in the car I think, but I don't fancy a trek all the way back down there. Normally I have the jute twine with me, so the insect net, which is currently rolled underneath, I can just show you here, the insect net, there look. Normally I have that fastened up with jute twine going back to the point where I tie it off. Not sure whether I'll need it tonight, so I might just leave it as is and just climb into it like that. Should be okay. Well, I'm not going to need it. It's just that in the summertime when I've been here, I've been bitten by some really nasty bugs that really, you know, you can feel them take a chunk out on you and you bleed heavily. Well, I do anyway. So I'm going to finish off my bed setup in a minute. I've got some water in there. Got the clean canteen, so that's gonna keep me going. I've got food in that bag. And I've got my Samurai here, which I'm gonna do some testing and recording in a minute. But I have already used it to cut 2 small branches. The 2 you can just make out there because it was creasing up my tarp. One of them's dead anyway, so I've just stood this up here and I'll use this to get the fire going later. But I'm not going to have a fire going now because there's no point in wasting wood, which I'm going to need for later. But one thing I can say is already I'm impressed with that saw. It only took a couple of cuts and it was done. Now with the Laplander, it would have took a lot of cuts. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that saw. See my roll mat inside the TP, so I might get that out in a bit, put it on my chair, and then I've got a bit of padding. Hopefully the mouse hasn't chewed it up anymore and destroyed it. Well, that's talking about the mouse. Just seeing if we could see his hole. The mouse used to live around here somewhere. I think it was in front of that grass stump. He might have moved on, moved somewhere else. But rope swing's still there for kids, you can just see there. You can see the water in the stream, and just make out the bridge that I built there. So yeah, I'll get myself set up, finish off. There's not much more to do. I'm not going to tie the middle lines on the tarp. Got the carry bag out of the TP because I'd made some hazel pegs and decided to use one there because there's not enough cordage to go to that tree. Plus I wanted it lower. I'm not going to do the middle ones. I don't think there's much point. I hope there's not going to be a lot of high wind tonight, so I'm sure I'll be fine. There's plenty of firewood in the area, so in a minute I can just have a relax. I can get a nice piece of green wood, start carving something, and listen to those birds singing. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to relax. So, thanks for watching Simon Outdoors. I'll see you in a bit. Back. Right, I've just gone and put on this Snugpak jacket that I was given about just over a year ago. I've shaken it up because it's been in a stuff sack for a long time. So I've got the roll mat out and I've put that on this wooden chair that we made last year, just so that if there's any breeze in a bit, it deflects it around my back and it insulates me from the cold wood. I'm putting off lighting the fire until late as possible because of keeping the fire going, and once I've lit the fire I really need to stay around here to keep the fire going. Oh, right next to me here you can just see a little bit that I've got a big pile of firewood. I've also got some that we stored in a tree over there at the bottom of a tree, because the tree's growing like that, so we've nested the pieces of wood at the bottom. You may have seen when I recorded earlier there's some wood in that tree as well. So yeah, pretty much set up. I'm going to use the Ferrofire survival tool to light my fire, but rather than doing a bushcrafty type fire today, I'm doing a survival fire. You know, I want this fire to be going. So what I've got here is a couple of cotton wool and wax tabs. So I've left it fluffy so it'll take a spark. I've also got some cotton wool mixed with wax shavings in my pocket, left over from the video the other day where I showed you could store a candle in the survival tool, and actually the candle is still in there. Something else I've made, I've used before, but I've had a couple of these still left in my bag. This is jute twine that was that thick that I made into rope, a small section of rope. It's very, very easy to do. I think there is a video on my YouTube channel how to do this, and then just dip this into wax. I mean, I could just use a lighter and light one of these and it'll burn like a candle, and then obviously this bit will be full of wax. Aeroplanes again. It'll burn really well and slow, so that it'll give time for these sticks to catch, and then I can move on with some bigger pieces and build up until tonight, where I can chuck on the big pieces of oak, and hopefully I'll be toasty and warm. And more importantly, well, just as important as being nice and warm, I hope the smoke is going that way and not that I've got myself set up with the chair and the smoke comes this way and then I've got to move. Something I normally do before setting up camp, but I've set up camp here a few times and where I've put my bed is okay, but what I'd normally do is take a piece of tissue paper, got some in my pocket somewhere, and yeah, the belt's over the top, so this has got that wax and cotton wool mix in there. But what I'd do is get a piece of tissue paper, light it. I don't normally carry a lighter, but I have got one now because when I was out walking the dogs a couple of weeks back, I found one and I looked at it on the floor and I'm like, that's full, that's absolutely full. And it landed just on the grass at the edge of the path, so the smoker, didn't realise they dropped it. but I got a lighter. It was covered in water and ice and everything, so it'd been there a while. But yeah, if I ain't got a lighter, matches, ferro rod, light paper, blow it out, hold it, and see which way the smoke's going. Then you know where to put your tent, your camp, and even where you want to sit around the fire. So there's a tip for you. I haven't done that today, but I know from previous experience that this spot it's alright, you know, the smoke tends to go that way, but it does change, because where I started building a shelter over there, I'd set up all nice, build my shelter, and then, you know, I'm getting smoked out all night. So it's thirsty work this, but luckily I've got my clean canteen from Whitby & Co. So I'm gonna have a nice drink of water. But when I get the fire on, I'll get my saucepan, because I brought my adventure cook set again. I've not brought a billy can, I've not brought a kettle, I've just bought a saucepan from the adventure cook set and the other little like pan you get inside. So I've got the grill left over there, so I'll do my sausages on that. Saucepan, I can boil some water for a hot drink, and also to fill my water bottle to put in my bed tonight. Now hopefully tonight I'm going to be lovely and warm, because at the last camp it was -2. The wool blanket I put on the sleeping bag just slipped straight off me, and I was just left in my sleeping bag, and I wasn't too bad. But tonight I'm in the hammock. I'm in 2 sleeping bags with a broken airbed in between both of them bags, so hopefully I'm going to be nice and cozy tonight, hopefully, and not too hot. I want to be just right. I did cut a piece of sycamore. Oh, well, I will have a drink in a second, but oops, I'm knocking the phone stand. I did cut this piece of sycamore, which I might start in a bit, once I've finished recording, have a quick drink and start carving something out of this. I'll start with my axe, then I'll go and fetch my Mora knife and the little 120, I think it is. Yeah, 120, and I'll make something. It's probably going to be a spatula. Now, I have brought my spoon knife with me, so maybe I'll make a spoon tomorrow, but tonight I think it'll be a spatula. So I'll see you later when I'm going to light the fire. Bye for now. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Simon Outdoors. Now I've just finished the spatula, and I'll be putting those pictures up on Instagram in a minute, but my hands are getting cold, and my legs are too, so it's now time to get the fire on. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got these fire starters, homemade fire starters, that I'm going to use to get this fire going. First things first, I'll get these ones lit at the bottom using this cotton wool and wax mixture. I'll save a bit because I can always use it to light this jute twine wax rope and then push that in somewhere else. So a bit like lighting a bonfire, I've got multiple places where I've got a fire going. So I'm getting my Ferro Fire Survival out. Yeah, we're good to go. Trying to get in here because I've got all the twigs in the way now. got that lit. So that's good. Right, I can take a flame off that for my jute twine rope. Go. Push that in there. And that'll keep going now. And later on I'll have a roaring fire and hopefully my legs will be warm. And so far so good, the smoke's going the opposite way. Yes. See you later. Hi everybody. As you can see now, it has turned pitch black pretty fast. It's now 6 o'clock and the fire did struggle to get going because of the cold. The stuff's damp, but we got there. Or should I say I got there, because I'm here all on my own. But now it's going. So it's going to be a couple of hours, I'd say, before I can drag some coals to the front to start to cook on. To get something to eat. Then I'm going to boil some water so I can have a hot drink, and then fill my hot water bottle up to get my bed nice and warm. And I'll just spin you around. You can see I've put one lot of little fairy light things on that, you know, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's 3 AA batteries, but they will last about a week or more. I've got another one which you can't see it, but that is just partly lighting up my top, but the other one will light up all the top when I switch it on later. And I do go to sleep with those on, because looking up on these banks, I'm pointing but you can't see, there's a lot of animal trails, and when I've camped in this spot before with other people, some guys came down from Leeds and I can hear something rustling through outside of their tent, knocking pans over at early hours of the morning and stuff like that. And yeah, this stuff comes about in here at night. So before, what I did is I left the fairy lights on, so I leave them on all night. So if you need to get up for a pee at night, you can see. And also it just deters the animals a bit, because, you know, it's abnormal. They're normally used to rustling around in dark, and then all of a sudden there's lights. And what we did before as well, I haven't brought the radio because I thought my friend was coming today as well, and he's not. We left the radio on low, so that was also a deterrent for coming around rustling in camp at night. Because, like, you know, like tonight I've got bags on floor, bits and bobs, because I haven't put a tarp up over where we hang the bags up. I didn't bring that. It has forecast a bit of rain. Hopefully it won't come tonight, it'll come tomorrow. But either way, I've still got some firewood ready. Not undercover though, but it shouldn't take much to get going. I did use 2 of those jute twine wax fire starters that I made, and yeah, those 2 cotton pads to get this fire going. But yeah, there's other bits and bobs I can get. Tomorrow I'll go for a walk around, I can collect a load of birch bark and stuff like that. So I keep looking over there now and again, and I can see the odd light. There's none at the minute, but you can make out the odd light from the road as a car goes by. And it always makes me think about my car at the side of the road, because obviously I'm probably about a mile away, and wondering if it's alright, because if anyone bumps it, car alarm's going to go off and I'll end up with a flat battery. I can see cars going up the road now. Unless it is the road I've come on, and it's not another road right out into the distance that I'm looking at. Who knows? Right, I better get another light on. And probably put my necker scarf on because I'm feeling a chill around my neck. I'll probably call it a night now. I probably won't do any recording when I'm cooking and stuff like that. I'll probably see you at night or in morning. Alright, I'll see you again. Bye for now.